Hello guys, how are you all? Welcome back to my channel. So, today we are gonna see, what if Naruto becomes the host family for the monster girls, and got harem, part 1. So before we start, go check out the author of this fanfic, marshalanime, link is in the description. Also subscribe to our channel, and like this video. So let's begin the video. How did I wind up in this situation? A blonde-haired teen thought to himself after waking up to find Mia, a Lamia he's looking after, as part of a cultural exchange program, had snuck into his bed, and now coiled around him. Mia, it's time to wake up, the blonde said. Just 5 more minutes just 5 more degrees, said Lamia, tightening her grip on the poor blonde. Why are you in my bed anyway? Naruto asked the red-headed Lamia while noticing her yellow shirt did little to hide her upias. It was cold last night, and couldn't warm myself up, so I figured I'd use you for it, darling. I'm a poikilotherm, after all, Mia answered, causing Naruto to blush slightly at her use of darling when talking about him. He's still getting used to it. Then I'll start the bath, Naruto said, getting out of bed only for Mia to pull him back down with her tail. No way, I want you to warm me up, darling, Mia said while forcing his head between her upias. So warm, I can feel my heat rising, the young Lamia said with a look of happiness, only for Naruto to switch with his pillow a second later. Sorry Mia, but you'll have to settle for that bath, Naruto said, as he gathered some clothes so he could change out of his gray pajamas. No fair, Mia whined with what Naruto thought was an adorable pout. I'll call when it's ready. And with that the blonde left the room. As Naruto started the bath he couldn't help but think about how he wound up living here with Mia. It was shortly after the failed Sasuke retrieval mission, about 3 days after starting his journey with Jiraiya. Naruto had told the old pervert about an old seal he had accidentally finished a few months before that acted as a gateway to a different world. It was then that Jiraiya decided that they would train in this world when they didn't have anywhere specific to visit in their world. To get money, Jiraiya simply shot his books to a publisher, and the rest is pretty simple to guess. It wasn't until a few days ago that Naruto's routine life of training till he doped every day changed, and he was introduced to Mia. Due to a typo, Naruto wound up as a host family for the girl, and since Mia liked living with him, it was just left like that. How's the water? Naruto was broken from his thoughts by Mia's question. Should be fine, the blonde said, turning toward her only to be frozen in place by the sight. Before his eyes was a completely naked Mia save the 2 D-shaped hair clips she usually wore. Thanks darling, I'm going in then, said nude Lamia told him before diving into the large bath. It's so warm. Japanese baths are so great, Mia said, relaxing in the bath. Thank God Sakura-chan's not here or I'd be in the hospital right now. Or worse, Naruto thought to himself, still unable to move. By the way, I read in a book that Japan has these things called hot springs, Mia said while hanging over the edge of the bath, unaware of the blonde's thoughts. Oh yeah they do. You want to go to one? Naruto responded, refusing to turn toward her. Yes, I'd love to visit one with you darling, Mia answered. Well, I haven't visited a hot spring in a while, so I guess it wouldn't hurt. Whoa, the blonde started until being grabbed by Mia's tail and dragged into the bath. Mia, what are you doing? Naruto shouted, as Mia pressed her chest against his back. You know about those hot springs. I also read that they have something called mixed bathing. So, we could do some mixed bathing too, darling, Mia softly spoke into Naruto's ear. Mia, I'm not sure this is a good idea, Naruto said, trying to find an escape route. Why not? I came to Japan for cultural exchange, after all, so you should help me out, darling, Mia responded while removing Naruto's shirt. And you know, it's just you I want to bathe with, darling, no one else. So please, for my first time, continued Mia, as she caressed his whiskered cheek. Can't believe I'm doing this. Fine, I'll stay, but I'm only washing your back, and my pants stay on. Naruto gave in. After getting out of the bath, Naruto decided to head down to the kitchen to make breakfast, where he found the person responsible for his new living conditions. So Mike, I see you found the coffee, Naruto commented on seeing the dark-haired woman in a black business suit and sunglasses at his dining table. Good morning, Naruto. And yes, I did. It was very easy considering you left it out in the open with a note addressed to me, Ms. Smith told the blonde. Well, you did complain that I didn't have any last time you were here, Naruto said while getting ingredients out of the fridge. You don't seem all that surprised to see me. I'd say you were even expecting me, Ms. Smith said, taking another sip of coffee, to which Naruto just shrugged. So are you just here for food, or do you have something you want to talk about? Naruto asked. So glad you asked. I'm here to make sure you're not engaging in any prohibited matters. The species that are co-mingling with us, if something were to happen to them, severe punishment would have to be carried out. And, as a host, you seem to be largely ignorant of the law, Ms. Smith said, finishing her coffee. And whose fault is it that Mia was placed with someone who not only isn't signed up for the program, but isn't even from this world in the first place? Naruto countered while refilling her mug. Besides, I would never do anything to hurt Mia, Naruto continued, as he went back to the stove. Yes, I was quite surprised when you explained your situation, but you know hurting can mean many things, Ms. Smith said. What are you getting at? Naruto asked, looking back at her. Well, you do have a working set of genitals, so you could go at it if you wanted to. She has made advances on you, right? Lamias tend to be a passionate type, Ms. Smith answered, causing Naruto to think about what happened earlier. But, as a representative of her species, losing her innocence to a human would be a diplomatic issue. So if you happen to cross that line, you will be arrested, and she will be deported back to her home country. All her efforts in learning Japanese would go to waste. It'd be sad, but a law is a law, Ms. Smith said with a serious tone, only to blindside with Naruto by bluntly asking, so? Did you fuck her? Of course not, Naruto nearly yelled. Really? Haven't even thought about it. Sure, she's a half-snake, but she's got a nice figure, ample of pious, and good looks in general, Ms. Smith said, as she walked up to the blonde removing her sunglasses. And she's completely loyal to you. And on top of that, she continued, getting only an inch away from his face. You seem to be easily seduced. Some mic finishes in a seductive tone. Before Naruto could argue against her reasoning, he was smacked by Mia's tail that was more than likely aimed at Ms. Smith. Hey, what are you doing? Keep your hand off my darling Samike. He's mine. You hear me? Mia yelled at Ms. Smith. Relax, I was just kidding. Anyway, I gotta go, so Mr. Darling, make sure you keep your pants on, okay? See ya. And with that, Ms. Smith left while Naruto sat on the floor with Mia's tail wrapped around his waist and her arms hung over his shoulders. After a moment of silence, Naruto decided to break it. Mia, if you don't let me up, I can't cook breakfast. Is the prohibition really such a big deal? Mia asked softly. As you know, we Lamias are half snakes. Because of that, people tend to be afraid when meeting us for the first time. So when I came here, I was really nervous about how my host family would react, but you weren't afraid at all. Rather, you were worried about me. Mia softly spoke about their first meeting, as she gently tightened her grip on the blonde, and had such a wide smile on your face. Such compassion from a human was completely new for me. It made me very happy. Mia's word caused Naruto to think about his childhood, and how lonely he felt, all because of something he couldn't control. Of course, I can't imagine treating you badly because of something like that. As soon as Naruto finished, he was flipped onto his back by Mia. That's why this has nothing to do with prohibited matters. I don't mind what my darling does to me. I don't mind if you hurt me, either, Mia said, as she stared down at him lovingly, as she moved the tip of her tail to his pants zipper. And you know, as she said this, her tail reached into his pants, and she began to lift her shirt up. I don't mind losing my virginity to you. Wait, Mia, Naruto began to protest, but what she said next both caused his heart to race, and his words to die in his throat. Because I love you, darling. For the first time in his life, Naruto had heard those three simple words spoken to him, and with such love and compassion behind each one. Before Naruto finished, the two were interrupted by an older man with long spiky white hair tied into a ponytail. Hey, how's your training coming along? Jiraiya trailed off, as he came into the kitchen to find his apprentice on the floor with a half-naked girl on top of him, albeit a snake girl, but a girl nonetheless. Ha ha, I knew you had it, as a kid. Oh, don't mind me, I'll just leave you to yourselves, the old pervert said, already reaching for his faithful notebook, as he slowly backed out of the room. Wait, Ero-sennin, you've got the wrong idea. Naruto began to desperately explain the situation, while Mia tried to cover herself, as her whole body turned as red as her scales in embarrassment. And that is how Naruto Uzumaki, shinobi of, began his life, as a host family. It's a date. I'm on a date with my darling. A date, Mia sang, as they walked down the street. You do know this isn't actually a date, right? We're here to get you used to human society, Naruto asked, as walked beside the rather happy girl. So, it's a date in society then, happily said, causing the blind to sweat drop. Sorry kid, but I don't think you're gonna win this one, Jiraiya said from behind the two. However, the two shinobi stopped after sensing a strong killing intent, only to see Mia attempting to kill the pervert with her glare. Why are you even here? The girl shouted while pointing at the man. Relax, I've got my own things to do today. I'm just tagging along for a little bit in case Naruto here needs a few tips from a master like me. After all, we wouldn't want his first date to end badly, now would we? Jiraiya explained to the girl, as he placed a hand on Naruto's shoulder. My darling doesn't need any advice from you. In fact, you're the one ruining our date, Mia yelled to the pervert, to which he formed a mock-hurt expression, and clenched his heart, as he said, you wound me. All I want is to pass down my teachings, and to help my students, and this is how I'm treated. As the two continued with their argument, Naruto simply watched. Doesn't my opinion count in this? Later at an unnamed restaurant, Naruto and Mia sat in a booth next to a window. As they waited for their equally ridiculously sized orders to arrive, the waiter nearly had a heart attack when he wrote it down. So Mia, how are you enjoying our trip around town so far? Naruto asked. After Jiraiya felt the two, they visited an arcade where Mia won a snake plushie from a claw machine after 50 tries, used a photo booth, and briefly thought about karaoke, but decided against it due to Mia's size. It's been wonderful, darling. The only thing that would have made it better is if Jiraiya hadn't followed us at the start, Mia answered. Yeah, he does get annoying at times, but he has his moments. Plus, he's a good sensei when he's not doing research for his books, the blonde said. How did you meet him anyway? Mia asked, wanting to know how her darling wound up being taught by the odd sage. It was during the break before the final round of the exams. Unsurprisingly, he was peeking at girls in the hot springs, but he seemed like a strong shinobi, so I spent the rest of the day trying to get him to teach me, the blonde explained, as their food arrived. Exams? What are they like? Mia asked, now curious. Naruto had told her that he was from a different world, and that he was a shinobi, but other than that she didn't know anything about his past. Well, they're tested to see if they have what it takes to be a. As for what they're like, well, for me it started shortly after our mission to Wave when Konohamaru ran into this Suna shinobi. So he became your friend despite trying to kill you? Mia asked Naruto, as they once again walked down the street. Naruto had told Mia what had happened to him during each stage of the exams, like his run-in with Orochimaru in the Forest of Death, the preliminary fights, Jiraiya's training. She became furious at the man when Naruto mentioned the cliff, his fight with Neji, and finally him beating Gaara. Well, he wasn't entirely at fault. Besides, he's not so kill crazy now. Hey darling, this store serves all kinds of species. Let's go in, Mia announced, as she started dragging Naruto along. Mia, isn't this a lingerie shop? Naruto asked, fearing the worst. I think I'll wait out here for you, the blonde began, but was cut off when Mia pulled him in. This is so uncomfortable, Naruto thought to himself, as he watched Mia pick out bras. What are you so worried about? The blonde heard an all too familiar voice say. Kyubi? What the hell? Since when have you been able to talk to me? Asked an alarmed blonde. The seal never prevented me from doing so, and you never spoke before because? A now confused Naruto asked. Never desired to, but sleeping all the time can only stave off boredom for so long, answered the giant fox. Hey darling, which one looks better to you? Mia's question pulled Naruto from his conversation to see her holding up two different bras. Fox, help! Naruto internally screamed, only to be answered with a "you're one your own" before the fox cut the connection. As Naruto's mind filling came back to reality, Mia decided to drag him into a nearby dressing room. Wait, Mia, why are you dragging me in here? The now incredibly nervous blonde asked. What? We have to be together all the time, right? Now then, take a look, and tell me which one you prefer, so that I can wear something to your liking, Mia said, as she removed her shirt and jacket, revealing her upayas. Cause you know, darling, I want you to like me even more. So take a good look, and choose for me, she continued, folding her arms under her upayas. They both look great. Yeah, we'll just get both. Naruto bolted from the changing room. As Naruto took a moment to collect his thoughts, he noticed he'd taken some weird triangle-shaped cloth. Huh, what's this? It feels squishy. And why is the back sticky? As Naruto tried to figure out exactly what it was he was holding, Mia stuck her head out of the curtains. Darling, I'm sorry for dragging you to the dressing room with me. So could you give my panties back now? Mia asked, her face bright red from embarrassment. Sure, Naruto said, as he shakily handed them over. Oh darling, you pervert, Mia said, as she quickly garbed the panties, and retreated back into the room. Ero-sanin can never know of this. I'd never hear the end of it, Naruto thought to himself, as he waited for Mia. In an unnamed maid cafe, a sad man sneezed as he was having his order taken. You know, darling, only a pervert would steal a girl's panties, Mia said once they left the store. I told you already. I didn't know they were panties. Naruto attempted to defend himself. Besides, if you're curious, you could have just asked me to show them. How many times I have to say I didn't before Naruto could finish. Two idiots turned the corner that immediately got on his nerves. Holy shit, the hell is that thing? It said darling. Oh my god, it looks so creepy and gross. The moment they opened their mouths, Naruto wanted to pound them into the ground, but before he could, Mia brought her tail up to do the same. This is gonna hurt, the blonde thought, as he moved in front of her. Darling, why did you jump in front of my tail? The now worried Lamia asked. As much as the two deserve it, it's not worth getting in trouble over it, Naruto said, as he got back up. Once Naruto got to his feet, the two heard a camera go off. Sure enough, when the two looked around, they saw a large group of people taking pictures of them. Darling, could we go somewhere private? Asked Mia, as she tried to shield herself from the cameras, to which Naruto grabbed her hand and started moving away from the crowd. We're kinda far from home, so we'll have to find somewhere else to hide out for a bit, the blonde told her just as they ran in front of a love hotel. Not the most ideal place, but it'll do, Naruto thought, as they went inside. I think it'll be safe to go home once Mia's done taking a shower, Naruto thought while he sat on the bed. The bath here is no match for the one at home, but it was still pretty nice, Mia announced, as she entered the room wearing one of the robes provided by the hotel. So, are you okay, Mia? Naruto asked. Yeah, it's pretty relaxing here. But this is a hotel, right? I don't have anything for staying the night, Mia pondered. It's fine, we're just here for a breather. We're not staying the night, assured Naruto. But isn't that what hotels are for? What do people do in here then? Mia asked, as she looked around the room. Well, you see, I do not want to explain to her what a love hotel is. Naruto began to explain, desperately trying to find a way out of this situation. By the way, what's this? Gum? Mia asked, holding up a condom. Trust me, that's not gum. Now could you put it down? Asked Naruto. The two sat on the bed for a few minutes in silence until Mia spoke up. I guess humans really don't like us, huh? They're only being nice to us because the law tells them that maybe you're being nice to only for the sake of not getting arrested? That's not, Naruto began, but stopped when he saw Mia remove her robe. Look, darling, I'm not sacred, okay? I'm completely defenseless. If you were to hurt me now, I wouldn't do anything, she continued, as she lay back on the bed. Are you still afraid of me, darling? Mia asked. The pain at even the possibility of what she was asking flowed through her words. Mia, Naruto said, as his hair hid his eyes from her. How could I possibly be afraid of you? His question surprised the girl, as his crystal blue eyes became visible, and held such warm emotions that she could barely describe them. You're kind, beautiful, and fun to be around. I'm honestly happy that you're living with me, Naruto said to the now wide-eyed and happy girl. Unfortunately for Mia, it was at this time that Ms. Smith decided to break down the door with a small police force in sweat armor. Hold it right there. This is the Cultural Exchange Security Squad. According to our information, a human male has dragged a female lamia in here for lewd purposes. As the laws about cultural exchange between species makes clear, Ms. Smith yelled before noticing the blonde standing between Mia and them. Well, if it isn't our little darling. What's up? Ms. Smith said, as she removed her mask. Ms. Smith / Mike, Mia and Naruto yelled / greeted each other. Hey, Mike, how did you know we were here? Naruto asked, wondering if they had some kind of tracking technique. You shouldn't underestimate our ability to gather information. Actually, we just used Twitter. After Ms. Smith answered the question, Mia came out of the room, now wearing her clothes. Ready to go home? I can give you two a ride, if you want to, offer Ms. Smith. As the two idiots from before entered the hallway. Would you look at that? It's the snake girl again. What? Not again. You can actually do her? Does she even have a vagina to begin with? The two once again began to make fun of Mia, though before Mia or Ms. Smith could do anything about them. Naruto punched the idiots down the hall before slamming into the wall hard enough to knock them out. Why don't you two shut up already? The blonde said, satisfied with the results. That night at their house, got her into a love hotel on the first date, huh? Guess you really didn't need my help after all. Jiraiya said he heard what happened to the two once he left. It wasn't like that, you old pervert, Naruto shouted, pointing an accusing finger at the man. Well, I certainly hope not. After all, we wouldn't want our darling to get in trouble now, would we? Ms. Smith commented from her spot on the couch. Darling, about those people from before, why did you hit them? Mia asked, wanting to know. Well, from what I've heard, they deserved what they got, Jiraiya said, as nodded in agreement. Yeah, I couldn't let you get sent back to your country over something like that. And besides, there's no way I'd just stand back and let a girl get bullied. It wouldn't be right, Naruto answered, to which Mia tackled him to the ground. Oh darling, I'm so happy you actually see me as a girl, Mia said, as she rubbed her face into his chest. Of course I do, you're a girl after all, the blonde said, as he patted her head. Oh, by the way, darling, what's for dinner tonight? Asked Ms. Smith, completely ruining the moment. Something Mia made sure she knew when she bolted up and yelled at her, why did you have to go and ruin the mood like that? Mia, you seem happy today. What's up, Naruto asked the girl, noticing singing while they hung their laundry on the roof. Oh darling, you're so shameless with your questions. I love that part of you too, Mia said, as she repeatedly patted him on the back, something he's sure would be a lot more painful for someone without shinobi training. Well, you know, it's because you were so cool yesterday, darling one, Mia answered, as she pictured Naruto saving her from those creeps. Really? Some of the people I know back home would have called me an idiot after what I did yesterday, Naruto said, as memories of his pink-haired teammate flashed through his mind. Well then, they're the idiots. Anyway, next time I want to be the one protecting you, darling, Mia said, as she entered the house. Well, I don't think that will be necessary. Huh, Naruto said just before a blue feather fell in front of him. Naruto looked up just in time to see a girl with short sky blue hair, feathered wings of the same color, and taloned feet, which grabbed the back of his shirt and slammed his head into the metal railing. This is the scene Mia saw when she came back out. Hey, what are you doing with my darling? Mia yelled before the harpy girl took off with Naruto. Darling, in the park. Ugh, my head, why am I in a tree? Naruto asked, standing up. Oh, you're awake, the harpy girl said, drawing Naruto's attention. And you are? The confused blonde asked. A harpy. Poppy's a harpy, is what Poppy is, Poppy answered. So you're Poppy? The still confused blonde asked. Like I said, Poppy's a harpy's wait, Pappy's Poppy? Poppy? Parappa Poppy Harpy? The now confused harpy tried to answer. Is this girl a bird brain? Naruto thought to himself. And I thought you were bad not helping, he told the recently talkative fox. So why did you grab me? You know you're supposed to be with your host family. Naruto decided to ask. That's why I brought you along. Poppy answered like it was the most obvious thing. I'm not your host, the blonde told her, only to be ignored in favor of an ice cream truck. Whoa, what's that? Food? Does it have food? Poppy said, dragging Naruto out of the tree with her, and stopping halfway, and backing away from him slightly. Huh, who are you? Poppy asked. She's definitely a bird brain. Now that I think of it, I guess the cultural extra special program or whatever did say that I can't go out alone. But it's so hard to remember that rule, Poppy said, as she and Naruto sat on a park bench with their ice cream. So when the Terminator was looking away, I flew off, she continued. Isn't that bad? The blonde asked, giving into the fact that he'll be spending the day with this girl at this point. It's okay, I've flown off loads of times before, and they never got mad. But they said the next time I do that, they're gonna deflower me. I wonder what that means, Poppy said to Naruto's surprise, at both her situation and her wording mistakes. You mean deport? She's in more trouble than I thought. Never thought I'd see someone dumber than you, QB added his opinion. Don't you have a wall to glare at or something? Naruto asks, only to receive silence. It was at this point that Poppy dropped her ice cream cone. I didn't even get a bite. It's so hard to hold, Poppy said. Here Naruto overfed his popsicle to the girl, to which she happily accepted, while he still held it. You gonna take it or am I gonna hold it the whole time? The blonde asked the harpy, her reply being a mumbled word he summed up, as you hold it. And so said girl ate the popsicle, in a manner that would have Jiraiya scribbling away in his notebook. This is so wrong. Okay, I think that's enough, Naruto said, as he pulled the popsicle away only to cover the girl in its juice. Fuck. I'm all sticky, Poppy said, as she looked at herself. There's a fountain over there you can wash off in. What are you doing? Naruto began to suggest it, but had to ask the question when she took her clothes off. Isn't this a bird bath? The now naked harpy asked, as she walked up to the fountain. No, I meant why did you take your clothes off? Naruto asked the girl. What? You don't bathe with your clothes on, don't you know that? Poppy said, thinking the blonde was stupid for asking, then jumping into the water. Screw it. There's no point in arguing with her, Naruto thought, as he jumped in after her. Hey Poppy, think fast, the blonde yelled, as he landed next to her, causing a large splash. That's how you wanna be, huh? Poppy said, as he started a massive splash fight. Naruto contemplated using Kage Bunshin, but figured he'd give the girl a chance. It was this scene that Mia walked in on. There you are, you bird brain. First you stole my darling, and now this. That's so unfair, said the pissed Lamia. Why am I not surprised? Because you seem to attract weirdos. The fox once again decided to speak up. Okay, seriously, what's with you lately? When I first met you, you tried to kill me. Now you're talking to me like that never happened. Before the blonde could get an answer from the fox's attention was drawn back to the now fighting girls. Girls, cut it out. You can't just start fighting, Naruto said, getting between the two, until he noticed no one was watching. Which was weird considering it's not everyday a Lamia, and Harpy starts fighting in the middle of a park. That's when they noticed a little girl stuck in a tree calling for her mama. She doesn't want to take off? Poppy asked no one in particular, as Naruto threw her clothes, and Mia his jacket, seeing as hers was torn in the front. She needs help before she falls, said the blind, as Poppy ran past him saying I can just fly up there and get her to take off, before falling on her face when she tried. I can't fly. Is it because my feathers are still wet? Poppy wondered aloud. Poppy, Naruto said, getting her attention, you can't just get her to take off. Humans can't fly like you can, and if she were to fall from that height she'd get really hurt. You understand? Naruto explained to her, as he helped her up. Don't worry darling, I can take care of this. Tree climbing is a Lamia's specialty, Mia proclaimed, as she bolted for the tree. Wait, Mia, I have a bad feeling about this, Naruto thought, as he and everyone else watched her go up the tree. And sure enough, when Mia reached the girl, she accidentally scared her, which led to her falling. Before the girl hit the ground, Poppy managed to catch her halfway down. Unfortunately, her wings were still too wet to work right, and the two continued to fall. Fortunately, Naruto managed to catch both of them right before the two hit the ground. Hey Poppy, you did it. Good job, Naruto praised the girl, as he set her and the girl down. Thank you so much for saving my little girl, the girl's mother said, as she ran up to them. Don't mention it. It was just the right thing to do, right Poppy? Naruto said, as he gave Poppy a pat on the head, and Mia came up covered in leaves. As Naruto started to consult Mia, a police officer rode up to them on a bike. I heard there was a kid stuck in a tree around here. Sorry, but you're a bit late. We already got her down, Naruto told the man, motioning to himself, Mia, and Poppy. I see. Hey, you two are in the cultural exchange between species program, right? Where's your host family? the man asked. My darling is my host, Mia simply answered, followed by Poppy. Oh right, they said they were going to deflower me. Poppy said, deport. And it means they'll kick you out of the country, Naruto corrected her. So does that mean, Poppy said, as she became depressed, and latched onto his arm. Can't believe I'm doing this. She's also with me, Naruto said, surprising Poppy. Okay then, can you just show me your certification? And at that all three collectively thought the same thing. Crap. That is until Ms. Smith walked up with Poppy's certification. Naruto's house. So Mike, how did you manage to get Poppy's certification so quickly? Naruto asked, as everyone sat in the living room drinking tea. Oh, I already had it with me, she answered. Why would you have it? The blonde asked. Well, we couldn't find a host family that was willing to put up with such a frequent runaway. So we were actually going to ask you to take care of her, darling. But then she flew off, she explained. Wow, you kinda suck at your job. Wait, that means, Naruto said, but was interrupted by ignoring the jab at her work abilities. Yep. Poppy, welcome to your new home. A statement that got a scream of what from Mia, and an enthusiastic question of really from Poppy. He's the master of the household, so make sure you do, as he says, Ms. Smith continued, explaining to Poppy, to which she replied with a joyous okay. So Mike's abilities at her job aside, welcome to the family, Poppy, Naruto said, not really having a problem with the whole thing. Alright then, don't go flying off again. Poppy, Ms. Smith told the feathered girl. Don't worry, I may not be able to understand complicated things, but that's something I can remember, because that means I'll be able to be with my husband all the time, Poppy assured her, as she grabbed a hold of Naruto's arm. Husband, said a blonde thought, as Poppy started to drag him with her. Let's take a bath, husband. We can continue from where we left off earlier, Poppy said, taking Naruto with her to the bathroom. Naruto looked at Mia to see how she was taking this, and was honestly surprised by her reply. Sure, go ahead, have fun with Poppy, darling, Mia said with a smile. Okay, the blonde replied, and led Poppy to the bathroom. Well, that was surprising, Mia. I thought you'd be angry, Ms. Smith said, still sitting on the couch. Why would I be? Sure, having someone barge into our household like this is annoying, but she's just a child. Yes, Poppy's a child, just a child, whereas I'm an adult, and can control myself, Mia said, going on a small rant. But Poppy's the same age as you, Mia. She has a petite body, but that's for the sake of flying. She's a lot older than she looks. Before Ms. Smith was done talking, Mia had already slammed the bathroom door down, which hit Naruto, saying she'd wash Poppy instead, later that night. So, we got another one staying here? Jiraiya asked once he came home to find Poppy whipping the floor with Naruto in a video game. Hope I got everything. I eat just as much as the girls, so that 24-hour supermarket helps out a lot, Naruto said, as he walked back to his house with groceries. Wish Ero-sanin would actually help with the choirs once in a while. Maybe we should get a larger fridge. The blonde continued talking to himself, as he came to an intersection, only to be slammed into by a blonde-haired centaur girl. What's up with my luck lately? And with that thought he was sent dumpling down the street. It appears I have met someone. This is certain to be fate. My name is Centoria Shianis, a member of the highly esteemed centaur race. Thou art the fated man that shall become my master, Ciria proudly introduced herself, which caused Naruto to drop out of the fighting stance he took after stopping Master. Oh yeah, Centoria? She's been given special permission to go out alone. Apparently it's a centuries-old tradition to go out and look for a master that they can serve. While she's here from abroad, Shichiwawa Ms. Smith began explaining over the phone before having a coughing fit. So Mike, you alright? Naruto asked. Yeah, sorry, I'm off duty today. Can I ask you to take care of her for me? She answered / asked. I guess so, was the blonde's reply. Alright, nighty-night then. And with that the woman fell asleep. I guess one should not look too lightly upon Japan's magic charms, Ciria said, as she helped him gather the scattered groceries. Magic charms? Naruto asked. He'd been living here the past couple years, and fit in pretty well, but small cultural stuff like magic charms and the like weren't something he went out of his way to learn. Yes, if one runs into an intersection and bumps into someone, they are your fated one. This is a Japanese fortune-telling magic char, is it not? Ciria answered his question. Huh, you don't say. Well, I can't say I've ever heard of it before. Anyway, I'm flattered that you want me as your master, really I am, but I haven't done anything to deserve that title, Naruto said, trying to decline her offer. What? Surely thou must reconsider. Someone who would decline my offer, for such a just reason, is deserving of the title of master, Ciria tried to reason. But how can you ask someone you just met to be your? Naruto began his counter-reasoning, but was forced to stop, as Ciria pulled him out of the way of a man stealing a purse. You whore son, committing another grave crime. Unfortunately she also crashed his head into her chest, cutting off his oxygen. Excuse me, Ciria said, letting the other blonde go with a blush. That man has been coming hither and snatching bags. As a member of the highly esteemed centaur race, I cannot let him go. I vow upon my sword, I shall capture that whore son, Syria exclaimed, as she drew her medieval like a double-edged sword. However, according to the interspecies laws, I am not to lay my hands upon him. 'Twas the reason I was searching for a master that would fight alongside me. Now master climbs upon my back, so that we may capture that whore son, and so that I can prove my worth to you, Syria said, as she motioned for the whiskered teen to get on. You want me to ride you? The teen asked, pointing to himself. But of course, as the man I recognize as my master, you are permitted to ride upon me, Syria explained. Well, that guy does need to be stopped, Naruto reasoned with himself. Riding down the street said the criminal was counting how much money he'd stolen, until he was startled by Syria's yelling. Stop right there, thou thief! The meek shall arrest you, else thee shall drown in the depths of thy crime. I shall have you taste my blade, Syria yelled to the man, as she ran up to him with Naruto on her back. You're that horse chick from before. You can't beat my Model 36, the man said, as he increased his speed. I shan't let thee escape, Syria shouted, as she sped up. Centoria, get me close to this guy, and I'll take out his bike. Great, I just had to leave my kunai at home today. I could just pop his tires right now, Naruto told his fellow blonde. Not to worry, master. I'll have us next to him quickly, Syria said, as they took a sharp turn. The criminal in an advert to lose them slammed into a pile of water barrels as they came out of the turn. Fortunately though, Syria was able to make short work of them with her sword, covering her, and Naruto in water in the pros. Seeing this, the driver drove off the edge of the road onto a lower one. Woo-hoo, smell ya later bitch, the man said, flipping them off once he landed. Ha, that is child's play, Syria said, jumping after him. Wait for Centoria, you might break something if you jump from here. Naruto is concerned for the girl. After all, she may be a centaur, but he highly doubts she knows how to cushion her fall with chakra. His concerns were at ease though when she used a passing truck to cushion her landing and jump onto the road. Okay, now I'm impressed, Naruto said, as they came up beside the man. I shan't let you run any longer, Syria said, as she placed her blade at the man's throat. Now's your chance, master, capture him, Syria said to Naruto. On it, Kage-Banshin, Naruto shouted, as he formed a cross-like sign with his hand, and to the surprise of both the criminal and Syria, 3 more Narutos appeared out of a cloud of smoke and tackled the man into a wall of paint cans. Incredible was all Syria could think as she witnessed this happen, even to the point she herself crashed into the wall of paint cans because she forgot to look where she was going. Master, are you alright? Syria asked, only to find Naruto was no longer on her back or near her. Master, where are you? Syria asked, as she started looking around only to find the criminal standing above her holding her sword. You horse bitch, I'll turn you into sashimi slices, the man yelled, as he brought the sword down, only for Naruto to jump in the way and have his chest slashed. Don't you dare lay a hand on her, Naruto yelled, as he slammed his fist into the man's face. You know, darling, when I said to take care of her, this isn't exactly what I had in mind, Ms. Smith said over the phone. Well, you didn't specifically say what we could or couldn't do, Naruto said, as Syria finished bandaging him up. Fair enough. Anyway, how are you holding up? Asked, as she put a pot of tea on the stove. I'm fine, I heal pretty fast, so a day, 2 at the most, and it'll be like it never happened. But I was surprised to find that her sword was fake, Naruto said. Of course we wouldn't let her walk around with a real one. By the way, where are you right now? Ms. Smith asked. We went to my house to get bandages, the blonde replied. Well, taking everything into account, I think it'd be best if she moved in with you, darling, the raven-haired woman said. Sure, I don't have much of a say in it at this point anyway, Naruto said, accepting his fate. Good, I'll get the paperwork ready when I get back to work, and with that she hung up. Hey Centoria, Naruto began until Syria cut him off. Syria, call me not Centoria. It is the name those who are close to me use, and I should apologize. I got you involved due to my own selfish notion of justice, and because of me, thou were injured. Syria apologized. It's fine, it's not like this is the first time I've gotten hurt like this, so you don't have to worry about it so much, Naruto told her, only to have his hand grabbed, as she said, I do feel my chest here. Can thou not feel the beating of my heart? I feel fate tying us together. Yes, this is just as it is written in Greek myths. This is like the meeting between Hercules and Chiron, Syria said, as she blasted his hand on her chest. Japanese charms sure are strong. I never thought I would meet my fated master. This is the first time since coming to this country, nay, since I was born, that a man has protected me with his body and his life. That is why I, Centoria Shianis, swear my fealty to you, as your servant. Master, will you accept these words? Syria finished, once again asking to serve him. Well, I can't exactly say no to that now, can I? If you want to call me master, then go ahead. Now I need to get breakfast started before the others get up, Naruto said, as he started making his way to the kitchen. Others? Syria asked out loud, only for her question to be immediately answered by Mia and Poppy entering the room. What? Darling, you brought another woman home? Husband, I'm hungry, Mia and Poppy said, as they entered. Did she say darling? Who are these women? Sirius said, followed by Mia's yell of huh? Darling, you're hurt. And then Poppy says she's hungry. I hope nothing weird happens tomorrow, Naruto thought to himself. As this was going on with your luck. I highly doubt it, Kurama said. Probably just waking up for once. I think I agree with you. Okay, let's go over the rules for the interspecies exchange program. Rule number 1. Do not hurt humans or members of other species. Rule number 2. You must stay with your host family at all times, Mia told Poppy and Syria, deciding to start the day off with a review of the law. And rule number 3. This is the most important one. At your homestay, the first person to begin their stay there has privilege. So listen to everything I say. Okay, Mia finished, as she drew lovey-dovey pictures of her and Naruto and a whiteboard. Do not make up rules that don't exist, Sirius said, not falling for it in the slightest. And then Poppy, yeah, don't let her fool you, Poppy. In another room with Naruto and Jiraiya. Okay, I'll let her know. Thanks some, Mike, Naruto said, as he hung up the phone. Hey Naruto, I've been thinking about your training recently, Jiraiya commented, as the blonde headed for the door. What about it? You're gonna teach me some cool news? A now interested blonde asked. Ha, good to see the girls haven't curbed your desire for training. But no, that's not it. At this, the blonde quickly lost enthusiasm. What I'm talking about is with your new responsibilities with the girl. Your training has taken a bit of a backseat. I can't just ignore them. I've been training whenever I can, Naruto argued in his defense. I know, which is why I've been coming up with a way for you to do both. But it will take a bit of time to sort out all the little details. So in the meantime, why don't you focus on the girls? I'm sure they'd appreciate it, Jiraiya told him, though the last part was a bit perverted in tone. Fine, as long as I get my training. Oh, and Ero-san and Naruto said, getting the pervert's attention. If I find out you used me, or any of the girls for your researcher, I'll have some Ike make you an exception to the no harming humans rule. And with that promise, Naruto left to tell Syria about her papers. A few minutes later, how did this happen? Naruto asked himself, as he watched Mia and Syria arguing. Both seemed to have, for some unknown reason beyond even me, fallen for you. So it only makes sense that they would fight for your affection. Kurama offered his explanation. You know, as much as I prefer how we get along with each other now, as opposed to before, it is annoying that you insult me whenever you get the chance. Tough luck. Huh, where'd all this steam come from? Naruto asked himself before he noticed it coming from Poppy, due to information overload. Poppy, you okay? Asked the blonde. The interspecies law book is too hard. I wanna go swimming. Oh, hey, husband, let's swim together. It'd be boring alone, Poppy suggested. Why don't you ask Mia or Syria, right? Naruto began to suggest, but then looked over to see the two still arguing. Bathroom. Okay, the water's ready, Naruto said, as he finished filling the bath. Okay, let's go, Poppy said, lifting up her shirt. Hey Poppy, why don't you put this on first? Some Mike gave it to me in case you wanted to go swimming, Naruto said, handing her a school swimsuit. But I can't change into this with these arms of mine. Okay, now put your legs through the holes, Naruto said, as he held the swimsuit open from Poppy to get in, trying not to stare at the girl like this. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay, lastly, put your arms through here. Almost done. And nothing bad has happened, Naruto thought. Gah, my feathers are getting in the way, Poppy told the blonde, to which he ushered her the suit would stretch, and then, shit, jinx yourself. Once Poppy's arms were through the suit, forced Naruto's hand onto her pious. Husband? Poppy said, looking up at him over her shoulder. It was at this time that Naruto did the only thing he could think of, jump into the bath, as quickly as possible, and hope she doesn't mention it. Sorry, I need to cool my head off a bit. Go ahead and enjoy the water, Poppy, Naruto told her, as he floated on the water. Okay, Poppy will cool her head too, she said, as she landed back first on Naruto. This kind of feels like I'm your older brother, Naruto said, as he adjusted himself to stay afloat. You're right. If Poppy had a big brother, he'd be someone like you, Poppy said, smiling up at him. Like me, huh? I mean, look, you play with me, and buy me ice cream, and you scold me gently when I do something bad, and you praise me too. Poppy only had girls around her, so I never knew what it was like to have a brother, but I've always wanted one, so I'm really happy right now, Poppy said, rolling onto her belly at the end, giving him a big smile. Well, I've always kinda wanted to be a brother, so I don't have a problem with you thinking of me like that, Naruto told her, a bit embarrassed. Then let's get along, brother and sister, okay? Poppy said, as she placed his hand on her chest. I think she's missing something here, Poppy. What are you doing? When you touched my chest earlier, it made my heart skip a beat. I want to feel that again, Poppy replied, as they started thrashing about in the water. Are you trying to resist? Then I'll have to use force, Poppy said, as she went to grab the blonde with her claws, only to then be pinned to the wall by a barrage of arrows. My goodness, I underestimated thou because I assumed thou were a mere child, but I hear thou be the same age as I? Then I shall not let thou act in such a manner. Come master, jump on my back, Jiraiya said, holding her bow and arrow. Sure? Might as well just go along with it, Naruto thought, as he climbed on her back. Stop right there. Saving Darling when he's in trouble is my job. So what are you doing? Besides, Miss Smith will be here soon to pick up your application, so fill this out. I'll take Darling, and Mia was saying, until Jiraiya ran over her and out the door. Let's go to the park, master. Then Poppy won't be able to follow thou. Park. Be thou alright, master? Jiraiya asked once they had reached the park. Yeah, I'm fine. In fact, the trip over here dried my clothes off, Naruto told her. Really? Then, could you please remove thine hands? Jiraiya asked, as the blonde realized he was groping her. Sorry, I didn't mean it honestly, Naruto pleaded, covering himself out on instinct. No, it's alright. I serve you, my master, so this is not a huge problem, the blonde centaur said with a blush adorning her face. Don't you think that's a bit of an exaggeration? Naruto asked, as he got off. Do not say that. Centaurs are valiant knights who value their loyalty above all else. That is why we search for a master whom we can serve. My father, and his father before him all lived in that way. Before I was a woman, I was a knight. This is the heart of our species. Do not dare call it an exaggeration, Jiraiya said with such ferocity and passion that Naruto swore he saw a group of armored centaurs standing behind her. Okay, I understand. But just because I'm your master, doesn't mean I don't value your opinion. If you have something you want to say, then say it, Naruto told her. But that's it, Jiraiya began to argue. No buts about it. Now is there anything you want to try while you're in Japan? You are here for a cultural exchange after all, Naruto asked the girl. I want to try holding hands, I guess maybe, Jiraiya said, now all flustered and unable to meet his eyes. Holding hands? Asked Naruto. Well, the only things I have ever held in my hand are weapons, things like swords and bows. So I thought if I were a human girl, I'd do things like that. There's no real deep meaning to it. Well, as a servant, it's quite unbecoming of me to blurt something like that out to you. Let's pretend that never happened, and Jiraiya said, starting to ramble, until Naruto took hold of her hand, as he asked like this. To this, Jiraiya turned away while still holding his hand. Jiraiya? Something wrong? Naruto asked before seeing the massive blush on her happy face. Cute noticing his stare, Jiraiya quickly turned away, covering her face, as she said, please don't look. I do not know what kind of face I'm making, but I told you not to look. The blonde centaur quickly cut off her fellow blonde as she crashed his head into her chest out of embarrassment. It was at this time that Poppy and Mia decided to drop in, rather literally. Ow. What are you doing, Poppy? You told me to put you down, I didn't say to drop me. WH? What are you guys doing here? And you said that you couldn't go out on your own, Jiraiya asked the two. It's okay, as long as nobody finds out, Mia answered before her, and Poppy noticed where Naruto's head was. You stupid horsewoman, you stole my darling away so you could make out with him? Aren't you supposed to be an esteemed centaur? Mia yelled, as she pulled Naruto into her chest. Thou foul-mouthed snake woman, thou have no right to speak that way of me. And why do you call him darling? Art thou pretending to be his wife? Jiraiya yelled, pulling Naruto back to her. Well, Poppy will take her husband while she can, Poppy said, holding Naruto, to which both Jiraiya and Mia yelled, get your feathered hand off him. Fine then, we'll settle this with strength, all three said, as they prepared for battle. Hey, you three, stop, Naruto said, as he ran in to stop them. Unfortunately, this meant that he ran into the path of the tranquilizers Ms. Smith shot. WH? Samike, what are you? And with that he was out cold, at home. I never thought I'd end up hitting you, darling. They were just tranquilizer rounds, but getting hit by 3. I'm glad you're okay. By the way, could you not tell anyone about this, please? I'd get in trouble, Ms. Smith said, as she looked down at the blonde from behind the couch. Sure, Samike, by the way, where are they? Usually they come running out to me, Naruto asked, to which Ms. Smith pointed to the door, where the 3 were peeking inside. What are you doing over there? Asked the blonde. Well, Mia started because we started fighting. You ended up getting hurt, I'm sorry. Husband, I'm a failure of a servant, Poppy. And Serial added, that's why we're going to try to not make any trouble for you. We all decided that we're going to hold ourselves back. Mia continued, to which Naruto thought, hold back? Poppy won't ask you to play with her. And I won't use my bow like that again. What are you talking about? Sure, you 3 can go overboard. And it's bad for you to fight like that. And there'll always be trouble. But that's just a part of being a family. And we're basically a family, as far as I'm concerned. And since we're a family, there's no reason for you to hold ourselves back, Naruto told them, as he got off the couch and walked over to them. Alright, that sounds good, Ms. Smith said aloud. A family, huh? I was right in leaving all of this to darling here. What are you going on about over there? Naruto asked the obvious question. Well, if you must know, there has been a recent development regarding the interspecies exchange program. Well, it's just a little detail about the program. There's a new article that actually allows interspecies marriage. but they're not sure if it's possible yet. So they've been looking for a test case, Ms. Smith answered. Wait, that would mean Naruto already knew where this was going. That's right. So, darling, we want you to choose one of these girls to marry. Finished. Marry. And with that last thought, the blonde passed out. What happened? Naruto asked, as he sat up in a familiar sewer, and in front of a familiar gate. You were told to marry one of those girls, then fainted, Kurama said, as he opened his eyes. Oh, right, Naruto said before crossing his arms and adopting a thinking pose. After a few minutes, Naruto threw his hand up in defeat. Gwa, I can't think of anything to do about this. Why the hell did some Ike have to say? Hey, Kyubi, have you got any ideas that can help? The blonde asked, looking up to the massive fox. Why are you asking me? Kurama asked in an agitated tone. Well, you seem pretty interested in what I've been up to recently, so I thought you might have some ideas. Fine, if you want my opinion, then I honestly think it's hopeless, Kurama replied. What do you mean hopeless? Are you saying I have no chance of getting married? Naruto accused the fox, as he jumped to his feet. Idiot, what I mean is that humans can barely live with each other without hating one another. So what chance do any of them have of coexisting with a different species altogether? Was Kurama's answer. What a load of bull that Naruto shot back. I don't know what kind of people you've met, but I don't care about that. Sure, they're not human, but so what? Mia, Poppy, and Ceres are all precious to me. Naruto locked his eyes with Kurama's the whole time. And if that doesn't change your mind, then just look at us, Naruto said, smiling at the fox. What do you mean? Kurama asked, narrowing his eyes slightly. Well, when we first met, we were at each other's throats. And now I'm standing here asking you for romantic advice, Naruto said before fading away into the real world, leaving Kurama to his own thoughts. Real world / Naruto's room. What time is it? Oh, 11:49, huh? Guess I haven't been out that long, Naruto thought, as he lay in bed. Marriage, huh? Guess I should at least talk to the girls about this, Naruto said to himself. But before he could do that, he heard Mia at his door. Darling, you awake? Oh, Mia, yeah, just woke up. There's something you want to talk about? Naruto asked, sitting up on his bed. Well, about that conversation earlier, I was wondering if you really don't want to marry any of us. Mia started looking at the floor, until Naruto cut in. Mia, that's not it. It's just, until I met you and the others, I would have been lucky just to have a girl look at me. Now I'm told to marry someone. It's not that I'm against it. It's just so sudden, Naruto nervously explained. Really? So, you're not against getting married? Mia asked, as she opened the door to reveal her wearing a completely see-through frilly nightgown, only connected by a small bow between her upayas. To say Naruto was speechless at this moment was an understatement. I thought you'd say that, darling, because you're such a kind person. I love that part of you, darling, Mia said, as she forced the blonde back on the bed. Hey, darling, did you know? Sex with a lamia goes on all night. I'd wrap you up, just like this, from your head down to my tail. We'd go at it for hours, Mia seductively said, as she completely wrapped up Naruto's legs. The lines between our world would melt from the heat produced by our bodies. Hey, darling, I want to become one with you, Mia. What the hell's gotten onto her? Usually she's romantic and cute. It's like someone put it on her. Naruto screamed inside his head right before Poppy crashed through the window. What are you doing, Poppy? You're gonna hurt yourself doing that, Naruto told her from his new spot on the floor. It's fine, Poppy said, as she dropped down onto his belly. Also, why aren't you wearing pants? Was Naruto's next question. I'm fine. It'll all be fine when we get married, husband, Poppy said. Do you even know what marriage is? Asked Naruto. You have sex with me, and I lay eggs, right? Poppy answered. That answer was way too blunt. Why? Poppy's an adult, you know, and I do lay eggs. And I can have sex, Poppy said, as she removed the blonde's pants, leaving his boxers. That's why it's fine. I can get married to you, husband, Poppy said, looking over her shoulder at him. Great, now Poppy's acting weird. Before Naruto's thoughts could go any further though, Jiraiya busted the door down, hitting both Naruto and Poppy. Are you alright, master? I was too late. Thanks for the save, Jiraiya. By the way, you wouldn't happen to know why everyone's acting weird, would you? Naruto asked Jiraiya after getting up. I do. This is the full moon, a night that calls out their instincts with the utmost force, coupled with fine conversation about marriage. Everyone has lost themselves within its power, Jiraiya said, pointing to the moon. The full moon, huh? Are you okay, Jiraiya? Naruto asked, as he looked at the moon from his bed. But of course, I would never lose my strong will to the likes of the full moon, and I have sworn myself to be thy servant. I am thin in body and spirit, Jiraiya said. Gotta feel bad about this, Naruto thought, as he slowly turned around to see Jiraiya kneeling with her front legs on the bed. Thus, thou may do anything to me. This is the definition of marriage. Now touch mine bosom, as much as you like, master, Jiraiya said, pushing his hand into her upayas. You've definitely lost your mind too, Naruto told her. Perhaps you would prefer to feel the real thing, Jiraiya asked, as she ripped open her shirt. And, as she did, Mia and Poppy came up from and grabbed Naruto. Hey darling, have you decided yet? Mia asked, as the three of them surrounded him. I don't think now is the right time to ask that, Naruto told her. We're not asking you to choose tonight's special, Mia said, followed by Poppy. Let's all get along together, and then we are thy harem. If that is what you want from us, I'll gladly join. Fox, help. Allow them to adjust once you break their hymen. They'll thank you later, not what I meant. Hey, darling, can I hold you? Poppy wants to hold her husband too. You too, don't take him for thyselves only, he is mine, as Mia, Poppy, and Cereal said, as they accidentally destroyed the bed. Wait, if they're going on instincts, then that means they're not holding their strength back. There's no way I can get through this without a trip to the hospital. Or worse. Right, new plan. Run. A few minutes later in a different part of the house. So now what? Wait till morning, and hope they go back to normal. Naruto asked himself. Kurama, huh? Just thought I should tell you my name before those three kill you, Kurama told him. Geez, thanks for the vote of confidence. It was at this time that Naruto's phone rang. So Mike, why are you calling so late at night? Naruto asked, as soon as he answered, seeing that Ms. Smith was the only one who knew his number. Oh, so you are awake. You gave us quite the scare when you just fell over like that. But anyway, I just thought I'd let you know there's a full moon tonight, Ms. Smith said, as she relaxed in her bath. A bit late for that now, don't you think? At this rate I'm gonna lose my innocence, and possibly my life by sunrise, Naruto told her. So, have you decided on whether or not you're gonna marry one of them? Ms. Smith asked. Whether or not? Now Naruto was a bit confused. Of course, I'm not telling you have to marry one of them. Did you talk to them about it? The woman asked. Well, by the time I woke up they were already like this. So I didn't get the chance, Naruto admitted. You got any ideas on how to calm them down? If Kurama wasn't going to help him, then surely Ms. Smith would. Let me think, you've got to cool everyone down a bit. Are you in your fridge? Ms. Smith asked. Yeah, why? Naruto said, opening the fridge. Alright, get some ice out of the freezer, and put it on their heads, Ms. Smith instructed. You meant that literally? Naruto nearly shouted at the woman. Gwa shit. I dropped my smartphone in the bath, and with that the call ended. Just as Naruto's luck would have it, this is also when Mia, Poppy, and Ceria find him. Found you, darling, Mia said, as all three of them slam into him. You shan't get away this time. Master, I got you. Oh, come on now, what's wrong? Darling, Ceria, Poppy, and Mia said, as all three lay on top of him. You're all wet. It was at this time that Mia along with the other two noticed Naruto laying in a pool of red liquid. Darling? To the three's surprise and relief, it was only ketchup that had gotten everywhere, thanks to them destroying the fridge. Ugh, a man that felt like one of Bachan's punches, Naruto said aloud, as he got up. Darling, Mia said from behind him. Oh, are you guys come yet? Naruto asked, as he turned around to find the three ominously approaching him. Shit. The next morning. Girls, it's morning, time to wake up, Naruto said, as he shook Mia lightly. Yawn, huh? Why are we in the living room? Mia asked, followed by Poppy asking why did Poppy sleep here, and then Ceria saying I remember nothing, as she gripped her head with one hand. Morning everyone, do you all sleep well? Naruto asked, drawing their attention to him, where they noticed the blonde now sported a few bandages here and there. Darling, what happened? Master, who did this to you? What happened last night? Mia and Ceria asked, as all three immediately became worried. Everyone, I'm fine. This is just because you girls got a little nervous after some Ike talked about marriage. Nothing to worry about. And since we're on the subject, I've come to a conclusion, Naruto said, which now had the three interested. I've decided to go out with all three of you as my potential marriage partners. That sound reasonable to you? Naruto asked them. Before they could answer, however, Jiraiya decided to return. Hey Naruto, I've got great news. Why don't you come over? And what happened here? The old pervert asked, seeing the state everyone was in. What do you mean what happened? Where were you all night, Ero-sanin? Naruto asked, pointing an accusing finger at the man. Well, if you must know, after Ms. Smith told me about the whole trial test she wanted you to do, I headed back to Konoha to get some help, Jiraiya told the blind. Help? Naruto asked what everyone was thinking. That's right. I knew you'd get yourself into trouble because of this. So I, being the brilliant man I am at this, everyone except Poppy rolled their eyes when the man went to Tsunade to convince her to put you on the CRA. And you'd better be grateful. She nearly killed me several times before I finally did, Jiraiya finished. CRA? What's that? Naruto asked, now confused even more. Should have figured. It stands for Clan Restoration Act. Jiraiya told the blonde, only it was Ceria who spoke up next. A Clan Restoration Act, but that would mean? That's right. Naruto can marry all three of you if he wants. Tsunade just wants to see you first, so I promised we'd visit in a month, Jiraiya told them, which caused Naruto and Mia to yell at the same time. What? You mean I have to share him? Why, darling? Mia yelled at the man. For thou to go and do this without master's permission first. Have no shame, Ceria shouted at Jiraiya with a massive blush, thinking of marrying Naruto. And while the other two yelled at Jiraiya, Poppy excitedly jumped on Naruto's back saying, yeah, Poppy got to marry husband. Hey, Ero-san, and don't I need to be in a clan before being put in this CRA? Naruto asked calmly, as his unusually cold eyes never left the man, causing everyone else to become quiet. Sigh. I was afraid of this part, Jiraiya said, now using a rather serious tone of voice. Naruto, you might want to sit down for this. I'm about to tell you something you should have known a long time ago. You think darling will be okay? Mia asked the others, as they sat in the living room. I do not know. Master seemed relieved, but also rather upset at finding out who his parents were, Sirius said, as she looked down at her tea. Poppy hopes husband feels better soon, Poppy added from her spot in front of the coffee table. Just give him some time, he'll be back on his feet in no time, Jiraiya told them, only to regret it when all three of them glared at the heavily bandaged. Maybe if you had actually been there for him, we wouldn't be worried about him right now, Mia told the man. I already explained, if I had taken care of him, especially with how much he looks like Minato, then his father's enemies would have tried to kill him within a month. And I don't think growing up with an entire shinobi army trying to kill him would have been much better, Jiraiya defended himself. After Naruto had gone up to his room to be alone, Mia, Siriya, and Poppy let Jiraiya know just what they thought about his skills, as Naruto's godfather, hence all the bandages. I suppose you are right, but waiting so long to approach him is inexcusable. Siriya told the man, you're right. I was afraid of failing Minato and Kushina, but that only led to me doing just that. But now I've got to make sure that Naruto's strong enough to face the challenges ahead of him. And dwelling on the past won't help anyone, Jiraiya said, and with that the room became silent again. Naruto room. Hey Kurama, could you tell me about my mother? Naruto asked, as he lay in bed. Sorry, I don't know that much about her. Kushina's seal coupled with her ability to use chakra chains restricted me far more than I am now. But I can say that, while you inherited your father's looks, personality-wise you're definitely your mother's kid, Kurama answered. I wish I could have met them and I wish I could leave this damn seal. But you don't always get what you want, Kurama told him. After a few minutes of silence, Naruto decided to speak up. Well then, why don't we get you out of there? What are you going on about now? You know if the seal was broken then you'd die, right? Kurama asked, thinking he was just being an idiot again. Well, I was thinking, you can control my body, right? Naruto told the fox, as he sat up in bed. Yes, but how does dash? Well, I figured if I made a clone then you could use it to walk around and interact with people. Sure, it's not a perfect solution, but it beats being in that cage all day, right? Naruto explained his idea. It wouldn't hurt to try, I suppose, but if this actually works, then you are officially my favorite human, considering I'm probably the only human you've talked like this to. There's a good chance I already am, Naruto told Kurama, as he formed his favorite hand sign. In an instant the room was filled with smoke, followed by a feminine voice saying, well Naruto, you might not be as stupid as I first thought. Huh, is that? There's no way that voice belongs to Kurama, Naruto thought to himself, as the smoke cleared to reveal a girl at about 6'5" tall, crimson red slitted eyes, fair skin, thick orange hair that went just past her shoulders, a matching pair of fox ears on top of her head, and a tail swishing behind her. As for clothes, she wore a burnt orange short kimono with black trimming that ended at mid-thigh, that covered her modestly sized upai. What the hell, Kurama? Naruto yelled, as he pointed at the woman. What, did you expect me to walk around looking like you? Besides, I'd draw a lot more attention if I were a talking fox, Kurama said like it was obvious. That's not what I meant. Why are you a girl? Naruto asked her. What do you mean I've always been a girl? Besides, I hardly see how that matters. Now come with me, you're cooking, Kurama said, as she grabbed the speechless blonde and dragged him to the kitchen. Living room. What smells good? Poppy asked, as some drool came out of her mouth. You're right, something does smell quite good. Is someone cooking? Siriya asked, noticing the smell. It must be darling. Who else would be using the kitchen? Mia excitedly said. Ha, told you he'd be fine. Now why don't we go see what he's cooking? I could use some food right now, Jiraiya said, as he got up and headed to the kitchen, quickly followed by the others, more interested in seeing Naruto than food. Kitchen. Darling master husband, Mia, Siriya, and Poppy said, only to freeze at what they saw. As expected, Naruto was at the stove cooking, but what they were focused on was the girls sitting at the table. Oh, hey Mia, Poppy, Siriya, are any of you hungry? Naruto asked, looking over his shoulder at them. How can you ask that at a time like this? Who is this, and why is she here? Mia angrily asked, pointing at Kurama. Her name's Kurama, and I'm here because Naruto is cooking for me. Naruto started, but was interrupted by Kurama. What do you mean by, darling, cooking for you? Where did you even come from? Asked a very irate Lamia. Mia, there is no need to be so angry. I'm sure the master has a reasonable explanation. Right, master? Siriya did a far better job at hiding her irritation at Kwama's presence. Yeah, about that. It's kinda a long story, Naruto started, scratching the back of his head nervously at seeing the three expectant looks. You see, she's the QB, right? I'd recognize that chakra anywhere, Jiraiya said, as he entered the kitchen. Very perceptive, but if you think I'll let you interrupt my first meal in nearly 100 years, then you're sadly mistaken. Hey Naruto, how much longer? I'm starving, Kurama said with a stare that could kill leveled at the white-haired sage, immediately followed by her casual asking when her food would be done. At this, Jiraiya calmly walked up to Naruto, placed his hand on the blonde's shoulders, and then furiously shook him, yelling, "You let it out of the seal. Are you mad? 100 years? Seal?" Naruto, after freeing himself from Jiraiya's grip, looked at the now fairly confused girls. Yeah, I should really get to that explanation. One explanation, and meal for Kurama later. So, she's sealed inside you? How am I supposed to compete with someone who's literally with you all the time? Mia said, throwing her hands up, as everyone else collectively thought that's what she got from this. I admit that this is most unusual, but there isn't anything that can be done about it. So worrying over it is pointless, Jiraiya calmly said, as Poppy started playing with Kurama's tail. I swear kid, you're gonna be the death of me one of these days, Jiraiya said before downing the saucer of sake he poured for himself. Said he needed a bottle halfway through the explanation. You know, I think I'm gonna enjoy living here, Kurama said, as she took the bottle, and downed what was left of it despite Jiraiya's protests. All while this was happening, Naruto couldn't help but think there's no possible way my life could get weirder, right? Learning to cook is easy as ABC. My sweet love is a secret spice for my darling, from me, Mia sang, as she cooked on the stove. Hey Kurama, you know where Ero-san went? Naruto asked over their mental link, as he watched Mia cook. He took Ms. Smith to Konoha. Said something about needing a new house for when you go back with all your new lovers, Kurama said, as she sat in her new room reading. Low lovers, Naruto shouted over the link, with a massive blush. Before they could talk further though, his attention was drawn to Mia. I put the heat on too high, Mia yelled, as the pan burst into flames. Mia, let me help, Naruto said, getting up from the table only to be shot down by Mia. I'll take care of it. I have to look like a good marriage candidate to you. I've gotta try hard to be your #1 wife, she told him, as the fire rose behind her. That's why I'm making dinner today. A good wife is a good cook, you know, she continued, as she put the fire out, and then, Mia fantasy mode. Mia, I'm home, Naruto said, as he came into the house in a business suit. Welcome home, darling. Do you want dinner? A bath? Or maybe you want me? Mia greeted him in nothing but an apron. Do you even have to ask? I'd choose you every time, my love, Naruto responded, as he quickly moved to, and hooked his left arm around her waist, pulling her closer to him, and with his right hand he slid it into her apron to cup her pie, as he placed kisses along her neck. Oh darling, how bold. Right her in the entranceway. What if someone sees us? Mia asked, completely giving into his touch. Well then let's hope no one comes in, right, Naruto told her, as he slowly slid his hand down toward her most precious place. Real world. And then Mia went to continue before freezing completely. Mia, are you? Naruto tried to ask, but stopped, as he saw Mia fall down, spilling the food she was cooking. Mia? Mia's room. Mia was under her blanket looking at her bandaged hands when she heard Naruto at her door. Hey Mia, are you alright? You know, it's fine if you make a mistake. I do it all the time. If you keep trying. Naruto tried to consult her from his side of the door, but was cut short by said Lamia. It's fine. I don't care about what happened in the kitchen, so could you just leave me alone? Mia said before looking at her body. Oh no, what should I do? I can't fix it like this. Out in the hallway. Guess I should leave her be. But I can't help but wonder why she was spacing out like that. Hope she's not sick or anything. Huh, what's this? Naruto said, as he stepped on something. Back with Mia. As she was wondering what to do, she heard Naruto say something she did not want to hear. Why is there snake skin out here? Darling, that's, Mia said right before smashing the door down onto Naruto. Mia, what are you? Naruto to ask before noticing Mia's scales flaking off. Are you shedding? Naruto asked to thoroughly embarrass Mia. So is this why you were spacing out earlier? Naruto asked, as he sat on her bed. Meanwhile, Mia was doing her best to disappear under her blanket. I didn't want you to see me like this, halfway through a shed, but because my hands got burned, I can't peel the old skin off. I can't do anything right. I can't even shed my own skin. I'm a failure at cooking, cleaning, and laundry, Mia said, as Naruto sat there and listened to her. You finally decided to look at us as people you might marry one day, but I'll never be able to live up to your expectations. I've never failed at shedding my own skin before either, Mia said, as she buried her head under her pillow. Well, I heard snakes have a hard time shedding when they're stressed, so that's probably why you're having this problem right now. I mean, I'd probably be stressing out too if I was in your place, but it would be bad if we just left it like that, right? Naruto asked from his spot on the bed. Huh, darling, how do you know all of that? Mia asked, coming out of the covers. Well, Samite gave me some books to read in case something like this came up. After all, if I'm going to live with all of you, I should know at least this much. 15 minutes later, Mia's room was now filled with humidifiers, as Naruto placed wet towels over Mia's tail. We should be able to remove the old skin easier once we soak it like this, Naruto said before noticing the red-haired girl hiding her head in the pillow. Something wrong? It's still really embarrassing, Mia said with a massive blush. Note to self, Mia is really cute when she's embarrassed. It should be okay now. Tell me if it hurts. Okay, Naruto told her, as he started to peel the skin off. I never really thought about it before, but Mia's tail really is big. Wonder how long she can get? Naruto thought of picturing Amanda-sized Mia. Although, it's still a part of her body. Naruto continued, as he heard Mia breathing heavily. Mia, does it hurt? Naruto asked, afraid he was hurting her. No, it doesn't. Gasp. Hurt? It's just, gasp. Really sensitive right now, Mia told him, which took a few seconds to fully sink into his head. Sensitive? She doesn't think so, but decided to forget about that in favor of continuing what he started. Aha? Mia, what is it? Naruto asked, sweating bullets. My tail, the tip's even more sensitive than the rest, Mia told him. Sorry, Mia, but you'll have to deal with this for a little longer, Naruto said, as he went to grab the skin. Hold on, darling. Stop. I'm gonna go crazy if you keep doing that, Mia said, wrapping her tail around the blonde. Just bear with it. This is all that's left, Naruto told her, as he struggled to remove the skin. Got it, Naruto said triumphantly, as Mia lay on the bed panting. Okay, now we just have to get the scales on your stomach. Could you turn over? This won't take too long, Naruto told her, as he stared at her now exposed panties. Damn it, Ero-sanin would be laughing his ass off if he saw me right now, Naruto thought, as he stared at the heavily blushing Mia, right before she wrapped her tail around his eyes. Darling, don't look. I'm gonna take off my underwear. I don't want you to look. It'd be embarrassing, Mia said, as she removed her panties. Yo, Mia, are you sure you want me to touch around there? This is even more stressful than the first stage of the exams, but this is the most delicate place on my body. If I leave the skin there, it'll get really itchy. Okay, where do I need to go? Naruto asked, as he moved his hands around her precious place, as Mia covered it with her left hand. Not there, go a little more to the right. My right or your right? Naruto asked. Sorry, I'm right. Great, with my eyes covered like this, I have to focus on my hand more than I want right now. I figured her muscles would be more firm and tougher than this, but she's actually really smooth and silky and soft. Damn it, focus, now's not the time for that, Naruto thought to himself, just before unknowingly slipping his finger between Mia's thumb and hand, rubbing up against her. Aha, Mia let out, as she forced Naruto's head backwards out of reflex. Sorry, darling, it's okay. It's okay, there's only a little bit left, so Mia said. Shit, if I don't finish soon, I'll lose control. Mia, where's the last piece? Naruto asked. Again, on the right, Mia answered, as she covered her mouth with her right hand and held the sheets with her left. Got it. So my right, you have your hand down there, right? I'm going for it. Darling, not your Mia tried to warn him, but was too late. This definitely isn't good. My fingers inside some metheng, Naruto started to say before Mia nearly snapped his neck unintentionally as she stared at his hand. Darling? Mia yelled once she realized what had happened. Darling, are you alright? Mia asked, as she moved to check on him, as he laid on the bed. Yeah, I'm fine. So if that's everything then, I should probably get going, Naruto said, as he tried to get up, but was stopped by Mia. What, darling? What if you? Mia began to ask, before feeling something poking her. Darling, is that? Mia asked, but seeing Naruto's beet red face was all she needed to answer her question. Shit, she noticed. Darling, you know, we're all alone right now, and you don't have any laws stopping you from taking me? Mia asked, as she looked down at the blonde lovingly, her embarrassment no longer at the front of her thoughts. If you're this excited, then there's nothing standing between us. So we can, Mia said, as she slowly lowered her lips to his. Make love. Mia finished only centimeters from kissing him. Naruto, do you know how long I've been looking for you? Kurama said, as she kicked open the door, forcing Mia and Naruto apart. You did that on purpose. I know you did, Mia shouted at her. I haven't the slightest idea what you're talking about, Kurama, feigning ignorance. Now if you'll excuse me, I need this, Kurama said, as she grabbed Naruto's shirt and dragged him out of the room. Hey, what are you doing with darling? Don't just ignore, Mia continued to say before Kurama shut the door on her living room. You know, not that I'm ungrateful, but why did you come in like that? Naruto asked the fox after she dropped him off in the living room. You want to be the one to explain to Tsunade that you got someone pregnant at your age? Kurama asked the blonde, to which he immediately started sweating bullets, imagining how Tsunade would react to that. Use a condom or have the pervert teach you protection. Either that or keep it in your pants. I still have to keep you alive, remember? And with that she left for her room. Later in the kitchen. Here you go, darling. Dinner is served, Mia said, as she placed the food she made in front of the blonde. This is both an apology and thanks for earlier. Even if Kurama interrupted us before I could thank him earlier, I heated up the food that was edible, so eat up, Mia told him, though she sounded upset when she mentioned Kurama. What is this traditional Lamia cuisine? Naruto thought to himself, as he looked at the monstrosities that were Mia's cooking. Unfortunately for Naruto, Mia's hopeful look, as she stared at him, left no chance to back out of this. Several tortuous minutes later, thanks to the food, Naruto managed to say through the pain he was now in. Yay, you ate all of it, Mia cheered happily. We were too late. Naruto heard the doorway come, and to his shock saw Jiraiya, Poppy, and Kurama looking half dead at said doorway. What happened to you? Naruto asked, fearing they'd been attacked. Her cooking, Jiraiya said, motioning to Mia. Damn idiot. Were you ignoring me when I said I have to keep you alive? Now I've got to filter this crap through your body, Kurama said before collapsing. What? I didn't do anything weird. Mia huffed. I made curry, so I put in meat, potatoes, and steak, and fried rice, and pork miso soup, and pudding, Mia told everyone. Mia, did you actually read a cookbook? Naruto asked. No, I learned by watching you, darling. But don't worry, I had Centoria, and Poppy tried my food for me, Mia said just as Jiraiya and Poppy collapsed beside Kurama. Why didn't you try it yourself? Naruto asked me not to get hungry when I'm shedding. Later that day, why can't I cook anymore? Mia winced as she read a cookbook. I have to study too, so keep reading, Naruto told her, as he read a book about extra species. So, where are we going again? Naruto asked Kurama, as they walked down the street. Who said we were going anywhere specific? Kurama nonchalantly answered. What? Then why did you insist that no one else came with us? Naruto yelled, starting to get angry with her already. Obviously, I wanted a peaceful walk, Kurama said, as she continued walking. I'm going home, Naruto said, walking the other way. Oh no you don't, Kurama said, grabbing the back of his shirt. I'm sick of being stuck in that house, and I need you to walk around without being bothered, Kurama told him, as she started to drag him with her. The park. I'm blaming you if something happens to the house while we're gone, Naruto told Kurama, as they walked through the park. You're still going to have to fix it yourself if something does happen, Kurama told him before her ears started to twitch. Wonder how this will turn out, Kurama thought to herself, as a girl fell out of the tree above them onto Naruto. Ugh, what hit me? Naruto asked, as he sat up to see a girl, around 13 if he had to guess, on his lap. The girl wore a white shirt, dark blue shorts, and a green clip in her hair. She had emerald green eyes, whisker marks on her cheeks, blonde hair that reached her shoulders, and like Kurama a matching pair of fox ears and tail. Did you have a kid without me knowing? Kurama sarcastically asked. How very funny. Hey kid, what were you doing in the tree anyway? Naruto asked the fox girl, as she got off his lap. I was adventuring, and my name's Midori, not kid, Midori said, as she brushed off the dirt and left from her clothes. Adventuring, huh? Naruto said, as he stood up. Yeah, I'm gonna be a world-renowned adventurer one day. You can count on it, Midori said, puffing her chest out with pride. Okay, I know I was joking when I asked if he had a kid, but this girl is too much like him for my comfort, Kurama thought to herself, as she watched the two blondes. So are you just exploring the park? Naruto asked. No, I'm looking for treasure, Midori said, pulling out a map. Treasure? Now that sounds interesting, Naruto said, taking a look at the map, which depicted the park. Yeah, Naomi hid a treasure in the park, and made this map so I could find it, Midori excitedly said. Naomi? She's the one taking care of Mom and I while we're in Japan. Like you, and Midori said, pointing at Kurama at the end though. I didn't expect to see another fox while we were here, Midori said, as a side note. He doesn't take care of me. I've just been stuck with him since he was born. I'm not even in the exchange program, though he is a host family for 3 other girls, Kurama told the girl, not wanting to seem like she has to be taken care of. So you're like brother and sister? That's so cool. I wish I had an older sister, or a brother. Midori misunderstood the situation. I wouldn't put it like /we are not both, Naruto. And Kurama tried to correct her, but was interrupted by the girl. Hey, I know. You two can help me look for the treasure. I've spent the last week trying to find it, and haven't even gotten close. You expect us to just help you? Kurama asked, looking at the girl. Oh, come on, Kurama. You're the one who wanted to get out of the house. Besides, this sounds fun. So Midori, where do we start? Naruto is now pumped for a treasure hunt. All I wanted was a nice quiet walk. Is that too much to ask for? Kurama thought, as Naruto and Midori started to drag her with them. 1 hour later. This park is a lot bigger than I thought it was, Naruto said, as they found themselves in a remote part of the park. Don't worry, according to the map we're almost there, Midori said, as she led the two. It was here that the 3 heard a cracking sound. That doesn't sound good. And just after Naruto said that, the ground collapsed, sending them down a steep rocky slide inside of random cave. Everyone okay? Naruto asked, seeing Kurama standing up and Midori sitting on his stomach. Just a few bruises, they'll be gone in no time, Midori answered by rubbing her arm. Here, let me see your arm, Kurama said, to which Midori showed her. She nearly broke her arm. It would be best to fix it now before it becomes a problem, Kurama thought to herself, as she began to push chakra into her arm. Once Kurama was done, Midori looked at her arm in amazement. Wow, how did you do that? My arm feels great. I've been healing Naruto his whole life, so this wasn't too hard. Just be careful, would ya? I don't know how well I can fix a broken bone like this, and I'd rather not find out today, Kurama told her, getting a nod from the girl. You know, this is nice and all, but could you get off me now? Naruto asked, still under Midori. So, should we climb back up? Kurama said, looking up the hole they just fell down. After all, she and Naruto could easily get to the top, even carrying Midori. What are you talking about? An adventurer never turns back, just because of a little problem, Midori said, as she pointed towards the darkness of the cave. Well, there's no harm in taking a look. We just need to mark the path so we know how to get back if needed, Naruto said, pulling a glow stick out of his pouch. Good thing I brought my gear with me today, that's the spirit. Onward to discovery, Midori said, as she started walking forward, followed by Naruto. I wonder if they'd notice if I just went home, Kurama thought before deciding against it, and following them. Does anyone know where we're going? Kurama asked after catching up to the blondes. If we knew where we were going, then it wouldn't be an exploration now, would it? Midori said, as she continued walking. At the treasure's location. Hey Naomi, you think she's alright? Asked a woman that looked like an older version of Midori, except she had free-flowing waist-length hair, a chest slightly larger than Kurama's, and wore a light green sundress. Don't worry Hikari, she'll be fine. We told her not to leave the park, remember? Besides, if she's not here in the next hour, we'll just go find her like usual, answered a woman with jet black eyes, long brown hair pulled into a ponytail, and had a figure similar to Ms. Smith. She wore semi-formal wear consisting of a white shirt, and black pants, and shoes. I suppose you're right. After all, what sort of trouble could she get in? You just had to explore the cave, didn't you? Kurama yelled, as the trio ran for their lives trying to avoid the falling rocks. I didn't think the cave would start collapsing, Midori said right before Naruto picked her up. Less complaining, and more running, the older blonde yelled, dodging a boulder. Unfortunately for the trio, they happened to go down a dead end. This just isn't my day, is it? Kurama asked, as they were forced to stop by the stone wall. There's no way I'm giving up yet, Kage Bunshin, Naruto said, forming the hand sign while still holding Midori under his left arm. Once the clone was formed, Naruto began channeling chakra to his right hand, as the clone formed it into a swirling blue sphere. It's so beautiful and amazing. How did Naruto do that? Midori thought, as she watched him from the ball of chakra. Here we go, Rasengan. Back with Naomi and Hikari. Do you hear something? Hikari asked, as her ears twitched. Maybe, but I don't know what it is, Naomi answered, leaning up against the tree. Rasengan. As soon as the two heard that the ground 20 feet in front of them seemingly exploded, well, that's new, was Naomi's only thought. As the smoke cleared, the two could hear voices coming from the spot. That is the last time I will follow either of you, came a feminine voice. Come on, you know it was better than just sitting inside all day, this time a male voice. Where's your adventuring spirit? Came a familiar voice. Midori, Naomi, and Hikari both thought. Sure enough, when the smoke finally cleared, there was Midori, with an older fox girl, and blonde boy that could base as her brother if not for his lack of fox ears or tail. All three of them were at the edge of a small crater filled with rubble. It was at this moment that Midori noticed her mother and Naomi. Mom? Naomi? What are you doing here? She asked, as she started walking towards them. We're just waiting for you, Hikari said, and then immediately started looking over Midori for injuries once she was near them. Waiting for me? Midori was not even fazed by her mother's inspection. Well, someone had to be here when you found the treasure, Naomi said, pulling out a small box from her pocket. Wait, you mean this is the treasure's location? Midori asked, completely shocked. Well, that was lucky, Naruto said after walking up to them with Kurama, having heard what they said. Let me guess, you two got roped into her adventure? Naomi asked, addressing the two. Well, something like that, Naruto said, followed by Kurama asking, so what is this treasure we just spent the last few hours trying to find? To which Midori answered her by opening the box, revealing an emerald pendant. It's just something I came across in my travels. Figured I'd turn giving it to you into a treasure hunt since you want to be an adventurer, Naomi said, and was immediately enveloped in a hug by the girl. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Midori continued to repeatedly thank the woman while hugging her. Thank you for spending time with her, Hikari said to Naruto and Kurama. Don't mention it, we had fun. Right, Kurama? Naruto said. I guess it was okay, was Kurama's answer. Though I can't help but think I've forgotten something, Naruto said while rubbing his chin. Back at the house. Where'd darling go? Mia asked, as her, Poppy, and Syria couldn't find him anywhere. Too thin, Naruto said, as he tasted Mia's cooking. Huh, but you just said it was too thick. Yeah, but you put too much water in. Now it's like a broth. This is why you need to taste it more often, Naruto told her. Syria, Poppy, and Kurama were on the other side of the room. I should be tasting it, Mia said, as she removed the lid only to be attacked by a slime. 15 minutes later. What on earth was that thing? Naruto asked, as Mia rested on the couch. That was a slime, Jiraiya said. A slime? Naruto asked another question. There are many creatures like us that humans are ignorant of. That slime just now was one of them, Jiraiya answered. Guess it's better than Mia's cooking come to life, Naruto thought to himself. But fear not, master, for I shall protect you. Trust in my sword. I shall not allow such an inferior creature to bring you to harm, Jiraiya declared, holding up her sword. Naruto was going to make a comment about not needing protection, but was deterred by Poppy jumping on his back asking to play video games. As she and Jiraiya started arguing about video games not being appropriate right now, Naruto decided to replace the wet rag on Mia's forehead. It was, as Naruto went to grab another rag out of the wash pan, that the slime re-emerged from said wash pan. Well, this is just great, Naruto thought to himself before Jiraiya came running with her sword. Stand back. Get away from my master, Jiraiya yelled before slashing with her sword, only to have it do nothing. Impossible. I didn't even leave a scratch. In RPGs, slimes doth be the easiest of the easiest monsters to slay, Jiraiya exclaimed while examining her slime-covered sword. This is real life, not an RPG, Naruto yelled before noticing the slime behind them. Shit. Jiraiya, are you okay? Naruto asked once the slime was gone. Yes, somehow. I never imagined that a slime would be this strong. My body is covered in some sticky liquid, Jiraiya answered, now covered in slime. Yeah, me too. I think we should clean ourselves off, Naruto suggested, getting a nod from Jiraiya. Oh, you two are done playing with it? I was quite enjoying the show, Kurama said from her spot on the couch. Why you? Why did thou not assist us in our battle? Jiraiya demanded. Oh, that was a battle? It was so one-sided that I mistook it, as you two simply played with the thing, Kurama said while grinning. Lies, Jiraiya accused her. Just ignore her, we need to get this stuff off, Naruto said, heading for the bathroom. Maybe I should call some Mike about this slime, and hope she can be bothered to do her job for once, Naruto pondered, as he washed his hair. Though before continuing with this line of thought he heard Jiraiya at the door. Master, art thou alright with? Huh, yeah, I'm fine, Naruto answered. I see them, I am coming in, Jiraiya said, walking in with nothing but a towel covering her front. Jiraiya, I know you want to get the slime off, and all, but Naruto began to say before Jiraiya cut in, 'tis not about me getting clean. Huh, now he was confused. I am not trying to do anything inappropriate either. The slime may try to attack thee once more. I thought that perhaps it would be dangerous to leave thou alone. I really am against this. I really am, Jiraiya explained. Fine, I guess it doesn't hurt to be safe, Naruto gave in, as he brought his hands together. Oiroke no, Naruto said, and in a cloud of smoke became his female self. There, now this should? Naruto began to say this until noticing Jiraiya's expression of complete disbelief. My master, how did you? Why art thou a woman? Jiraiya shouted. Well, sorry, I thought this would be less awkward for you, Naruto shouted back. How is this situation less awkward? Thou just transformed into a woman, Jiraiya shouted, now a few inches from Naruto. Living room. Those two are making a lot of noise, Kurama said from her spot on the couch, as Poppy continued to play video games. Bathroom. I apologize for bothering thou, and making thou perform such a task, Jiraiya said, as Naruto, still, as a girl, scrubbed her back. Don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal, Naruto told her. Perhaps, but I am curious, how did such a unique ability come about? Jiraiya asked, motioning towards his transformation. Oh, no. Well, when I was young I noticed that a lot of guys acted like idiots around cute girls. So being the prankster I am, I created the node to use on them. Now I mostly just use it when I have to deal with perverts, and can't be bothered to hit them, Naruto explained. I see, so thou was rather mischievous when you were younger. Master, that's. Thou need not wash there, Jiraiya said, which caused Naruto to look at exactly where he was washing, to see his hand at her rear. Kia, sorry, Naruto yelled, backing away from her. After Naruto had finished scrubbing Jiraiya, the two jumped into the bath. Hey Jiraiya, do you have any idea why that slime attacked? Naruto asked. It was most likely looking for water. First it was Mia's stew, then it was the wash bin. It's just a guess, but perhaps it lives by seeking water sources? Jiraiya told him. Wait, if it's looking for water, then isn't it a bad idea for us to be in the bath? Naruto asked just as a drop of slime landed on his head. It's the slime. When did it sneak in? Jiraiya said, looking to the roof at the slime, but in the process losing her towel. This caused her to faint out of embarrassment. Are you okay? Naruto asked just before being enveloped by the slime. Hey, if you think you can just eat me, then you should know you're not the first to try, Naruto was saying before the slime turned into a girl. Well, didn't see that coming, Naruto thought right before being hugged by the slime girl, and then being shoved to the floor with her on top of him. Hey, what are you doing? Naruto asked, as she started using the brush he'd used on Jiraiya to scrub him. The slime either chose to ignore him, or whatever continued to wash him using her body to do so. Really glad I'm still in my form right now, Naruto thought with a massive blush on his face. Huh, she doesn't seem dangerous. She's just intimidating everyone, Naruto thought, as she kept washing him. Unfortunately, he also failed to notice when he accidentally got his head stuck in her body. How the hell did this happen? Naruto thought, as he couldn't breathe or pull himself out. Well, back to the original plan. Let's just hope it works, Naruto thought, as he put his hands together and formed several clones, which sent the girls splattering all over the bathroom. Naruto had the clones carry cereal out of the bathroom, as he caught his breath and watched the slime slowly pull herself together. Now we just need to figure out what we're going to do with you. Later in the living room. So are we just going to let her live here? Kurama asks, as Naruto, Jiraiya, and Mia watch the slime, and Poppy plays video games. Why not? It's not like she's any more dangerous than any of us, Naruto said, getting a nod of agreement from the fox. So long as she poses no threat, Jiraiya said. Well, I just hope this doesn't become a habit. I mean, how many girls are going to be living with Darling anyway? Mia complained, getting a laugh from Naruto, and Kurama, followed shortly by Jiraiya. How did things wind like this? Naruto asked Kurama, as his house was being remodeled again. Well, it seems that those three are concerned about Ms. Smith came to calm Sue, as an illegal, Kurama said, as she watched Mia, Jiraiya, and Poppy trying to figure out what to do. I wasn't talking about that. There's no way Samike will go out of her way to do something like that. What I want to know is, why am I getting another extra species person to look after? Naruto asked, as he signed a paper one of the workers brought over to him. Oh, we're getting a new one already? You know what they are. Or is that a surprise? Kurama asked with a highly amused expression. You're enjoying this too much. Anyway, Samike said it was going to be a mermaid, Naruto answered. So that's why they're putting in a pool. Oh, and by the way, the girls just ran off with Sue, Kurama pointing to the open door. Why? Oh, you have got to be kidding me. Park. We should be safe here, Jiraiya said after they stopped next to a lake. Poppy, how does Sue fare? Jiraiya asked, looking at the harpy. She's fine. I had to dehydrate her down to bucket size, but it looks like she's okay. Poppy answered, looking down at the bucket she was carrying, which held Sue. Anyway, maybe we should conceal Sue until all the hullabaloo dies down. This park should function adequately. Not many people venture here, Jiraiya said, followed by Mia. And, as long as we hide Sue, we'll be fine. That was easy. Too bad for them. This is where Poppy pointed out a small flaw with their plan. Oh yeah? We left our husbands behind. That's fine, right? Oh no, we've forgotten the most important thing. If Darling isn't with us, then they'll arrest us too. Jiraiya and Mia freaked out. Random street. Note to self, have Ero-san teach me a tracking, Naruto said to himself, as he walked down the street looking for the girls. Hey, Ni-san, Naruto heard right before a yellow rocket slammed into his waist. Huh, Midori, what are you doing here? Naruto asked, looking down at the energetic fox girl. I was just walking around with Mom and Naomi, Midori said, as she let go of him. Well, we weren't expecting to see you today. How have you been, Naruto? Naomi asked, as her and Hikari walked up to him. Oh, you know, the usual. By the way, you haven't seen Lamia, Harpy, and Centaur, have you? Naruto asked. I'm sorry, we haven't. Did something happen? Hikari answered, and then asked a question of her own. Sort of. Mia, Poppy, Jiraiya, and Sue took off, and if I don't find them soon then they'll probably get in trouble, Naruto told them. Well, that isn't good. Need any help? Naomi offered. Yes, we would love to help, Hikari added. Well, I can't just refuse, now can I? Naruto said. So, have any idea where they could be? Naomi asked, as the four walked down the street. Sorry, but I didn't say what Naruto said, as his shoulders dropped. Don't worry, I'm sure they're fine, Hikari reassured him. Yeah, I mean, what's the worst that could happen to them? Midori asked. Park, cease this, Sue. Those black suits are still hanging around. You can't have any water right now, Jiraiya and Mia said, as they restrained Sue after she finished sucking all the water off of Poppy's body. After they got Sue back in the bucket. My goodness, who knew that dehydrating Sue would be this big of a mess, Jiraiya said, now covered in slime. It looks like there are more black suits around, too. What should we do? Mia asked, also covered in slime. We should create an opening and move to another location, Jiraiya suggested, as she watched several men in black suits from behind a tree. Oh, Mia said, looking at her weirdly. What is that look for? Jiraiya asked. Where else could we hide? I mean, your ass is just so big, Centoria, Mia said, pointing with her tail. Like thee be one to talk, with thy freakish length. How? Jiraiya told her before backing into and breaking a water fountain. Oh dear, your big ass just broke the water fountain, Mia said, looking at the blonde woman. Shut up. I did not think something like that would be there, Jiraiya said, all flustered. Oh my, it looks like that got you pretty wet, Mia commented, seeing Jiraiya's side completely soaked. Gah, there is no way I'll be seen in such a state, Jiraiya said, right before Sue got into her skirt and started sucking up the water. Hey, Estio, stop, Sue, the centaur yelled right before Mia covered her mouth with her hand. Don't shout. You'll give us away. You can do it, Centoria. Sue will calm down. As soon as she gets all the water off of you, the red-haired Lamia told her. Back with Naruto. You must have a busy life, with all the girls you have to take care of. And all? Hikari asked, as she walked next to Naruto, as he told them about his daily life, as they looked for the girls. Let's not forget that Naruto gets to marry those lovely girls, so it can't be too bad. Lover-Ben Naomi teased, getting a blush from both Naruto and Hikari. Oh, Hikari, don't tell me you want to marry Naruto too? Naomi asked, turning her attention to the fox girl. What? Don't be ridiculous. I'm too old for him, Hikari said, waving her arms around, as she started freaking out. Well, isn't that something for him to decide? After all, he may be into older women, Naomi suggested, and then watched, as Hikari became lost in her thoughts. Hikari's thoughts. Hikari was walking down the aisle in a beautiful wedding dress. Waiting for her at the altar is one Naruto Uzumaki, seemingly aglow from the light filtering in from the stained glass windows behind him. As she draws near, he holds out his hand to her and says, "You look lovely, my dear Hikari." Oh, stop it. If you say something like that now, I don't think my heart could take it. Oh, I'm so nervous, she said, as she placed her hand in his. Her other hand came to rest on her cheek in an attempt to cover her blush. We have gathered here today to witness the union of these two in holy matrimony. Real world. Oh, I'm so happy, Hikari quietly said, as she was now oblivious to the world. Is she going to be alright? Naruto asked, waving a hand in front of her face. Don't worry, she's fine. But now I'm curious, Naomi said, as she stared at the still blushing blonde shinobi. Curious of what? Naruto asked, inching away from the woman. Of your opinion on Hikari, of course. I personally think you two look cute together, Naomi said, closing the distance between them. If Nisa marries mom, then that'd mean you'd be my daddy, Midori cheerfully said, latching onto the blonde. Daddy? Naruto nearly yelled. Before Naruto could dig himself into this situation any further, however, the group heard a shout, and when they looked to the location of said shout, they saw a pink-haired girl in a gothic Lolita outfit, in a wheelchair, speeding down a steep hill. Someone, please save me. I can't stop. Help, the pinkette yelled. Of course, Naruto, being Naruto, quickly rushed over to her and grabbed her out of the wheelchair before she crashed, now holding her bridal style. You okay? Naruto asked, as she slowly opened her eyes to see his smiling face. Oh yes, I'm fine. Thank you for saving me. I'm not used to using the wheelchair yet, she told him, as he carried her over to said wheelchair, as Naomi put it back on its wheels. Wow, Nasen, you were so cool. You rushed in and saved her like it was nothing, Midori said, running up to the blonde with stars in her eyes. I was just doing what anyone would if they could, Naruto said, brushing it off. Then Naruto noticed fins sticking out of the pinkette's dress. Excuse me, miss, but could you tell me your name? Naruto asked, placing her in her wheelchair. Oh, but of course, I'm Mero. Let me give you my utmost thanks once again, Mero said, holding her hands in front of herself in a prayer-like fashion. Maround Lorelei? Naruto asked, holding a card he'd pulled out of a small storage seal on his wrist. Yes, but how did you? Mero asked, a bit surprised. Well, I guess I'm your homestay, though I was expecting to meet you when Samike dropped you off at my house. Naruto handed her the certification card with her information on it. Well, that's one girl found, even if she's not the one of the ones we were looking for, Naomi said, as Hikari walked up, still blushing from her fantasy. Are you looking for someone? Mero asked, looking up at Naruto. Yeah, we're looking for your other house guests, Naruto answered. They wouldn't happen to be a Lamia, a harpy, and a centaur, would they? I spotted them a little while ago, to be honest, Mero said. Yep, that's them. You wouldn't mind leading us to them, would you? Naruto asked the mermaid. But of course I would assist you, Mero said, as she began giving the group directions. It was right in that park. That's where they were, Mero said, pointing in the direction of the park. For someone who's new around here, you sure know your way around, Naomi pointed out. Oh, it's nothing, really. I can just sense the presence of water, or rather, I could smell the lake, Mero explained. Well, that seems useful, Naruto said, as he headed for the lake. It is. Also, could you turn here? Mero said, pointing down an alley, to which Naruto followed by everyone else. As soon as everyone was in the alley, a small group of men in black suits ran past on the street. I'm going to take a wild guess and say your trip around town wasn't pre-approved, Naomi said. I wanted to see the city before heading to my homestay, was Mero's response. Hey, is it just me, or does anyone else sense the killing intent radiating from the park? Naruto asked with a raised eyebrow. Park. Mia, being the only one still standing, faced off against Sue, determined not to fall like the others. Alright, I can't screw this up. There are plenty of places in this park where I could get wet. So, it's a war of attrition now. I'll finish this, Mia thought with determination. What are you doing, Mia? Naruto asked, as he and the other watched from behind some small bushes. Duh, darling? Aye, Sue's gone? Mia began to say, turning her back on the slime, which gave her the opening to attack. What are they doing? Midori asked, as she and the rest watched Mia being assaulted by Sue. I think your mom should answer that one for you, Naruto suggested, not even wanting to touch that one, which got me embarrassed. What? From Hikari. Now Sue stood amongst her fallen adversaries as she set her sights on Mero's moist skin. Me too? Mero worriedly asked right, as Sue lunged at her. This is where Naruto came in and caught Sue in a large plastic bag. I think that's enough excitement for one day. Don't you all agree? Naruto asked to tie the bag so Sue couldn't get out. Naruto's house. I cannot believe all of our hard work was for naught, Sirius said, completely drained of energy. At least you can say it wasn't a boring day, Naomi chipped in, as her, Hikari, Midori, Mero, and Naruto came into the room after Naruto finished giving them a tour of the house. Yeah, it's always exciting hanging out with Dad, Midori said, grabbing hold of Naruto's arm. 3, 2, 1, Dad, Mia, Syria, and Poppy shouted, as Sue looked on with a confused expression. Shit, well, this should be a fun night, Naruto thought, as he wondered how fast he could make it out of the house. Thanks for watching my video, and make sure to check out the author of this fanfic. Link is in the description. See you next time. Till then, sayonara.